Hi, my name's Vanessa Lee. Welcome to Always the Wild One. Cute. So cute. I can't stop staring at her. If you don't have this plant, what are you doing? You've got to have this one. But do you dream about plants? I mean, oh God, I hope that's not weird. Today, I am going to be showing you my favourite plants of the month. And yes, I know it's April already. But yes, this is going to be my top plants of the month of March 2023. So let's go and have a look. And I'm going to show you what has just been bringing me joy every day. The ones that my eye has just been drawn towards and I've just been wanting to check up on a little more than the others. Okay, so the first plant that I'm going to show you is my Streptocarpus. She's over here. She's in quite low light, but enough for her. She's very, very happy in her new situation. I recently moved all my plants around and I've had this plant for 1.5 years. Let me grab her actually, take her out from there. Ooh. So we can have a proper look. Yeah, I've had her for 1.5 years, so I mean you can see she's not grown loads, but she's slow and steady, just like a turtle. So I mean the other name for this plant is pretty turtle. And she's got loads of new growth. You can see, look at that tiny baby leaf. And they're all just perfect. I mean, I have one leaf that has a bit of a rip, but oh, she's gorgeous and so fluffy. I don't know if you can see the fluff on her. Can you? I don't know, how can I get an angle where you can see that fluff? Oh, there you go. Look, she's super duper fluffy. The sweetest little thing, and I would be very sad if I ever lost her. I just find myself staring at her a lot these days. I really do feel that she's completely aware that spring is on its way. And yeah, the temperature has been rising in this room. Naturally, there's been getting some natural sunlight from the window, and this plant is joyous. I can see how happy she is. She's currently in just like a really basic coca coir and perlite mix. Oh, there we go. I tend to water this plant when I see that the lower leaves are drooping, which could be maybe every 2 weeks to maybe once a month, to be honest. It's probably more once a month. Definitely do not water this plant unless it shows signs that it needs the water, because then you'll just get kind of browning. And I have cut lots of leaves off of this plant in the past, but I feel that I finally understand this plant and we are getting on very well together. So yay, this is the first plant I wanted to show you. I'm very proud of her. I don't see a lot of these plants around. In fact, I haven't seen this plant in any other shops than the one that I bought it from. I bought this from a store called Little Dobbies. It's a really cool plant store. And yeah, that's the first plant that I want to show you. Oh, I love her. Look at her. Oh, the sun on her. Oh, she's so cute. Okay, baby, put you back. The next plant I'm going to show you that I'm so proud of is my lemon lime philodendron. I've had this plant for 1.5 years, and you can see she's quite a nice size. And this is where she lives. She is under a grow light. She's also in front of a window, so she gets that natural sunlight also. I've taken loads of propagations from this plant. Check out the new growth. Is so cute and pink. Absolutely gorgeous. She's stunning, and she hasn't stopped all winter, to be honest. and a really hardy plant. This plant was actually in the hallway at one stage, and the hallway can get very, very cold. Look at these new leaves, how bright they are. They're absolutely stunning. Really gorgeous. I actually want to get her out from there so I can show you a little bit closer. Some of her leaves are showing some variegation as well. I mean, there are one or two in there, but that's a new one, or newish. I'm going to put her down, she's getting heavy. And yeah, she's currently in Leucisapon, as you can see. In her glass vessel, there's no drainage, obviously. And I've put a reservoir of water at the bottom here. I've used lacquer balls just so that I can see straight away how much water there is in there. Recently filled this up and she's already guzzled half of it. She loves it, absolutely loves being in Leucisapon, or pond. And yeah, hasn't skipped a beat. I changed, this plant was originally in soil. Come back a little bit. She was originally in soil, and then I think about 6, maybe 8 months ago, I changed this plant into Leucisa, and I basically just washed all the soil off the roots, cleaned her up, and put her into Leucisapon, and she did not skip a beat. She took to it like a duck to water, and I'm so, so proud of her. I mean, I've taken many a cutting and given friends and family little bits of this plant. She's everywhere. I've also got another bit of her there. So yeah, very quick grower, love philodendrons, really easy to take care of. I'm watering this one probably, because she has that water reservoir, I'm probably doing it every 2 weeks. In the summer that may increase to maybe 10 days or maybe even once a week, I don't know. But yeah, love this plant. Will always have one of these in my collection. I'm hoping I'll get more of these leaves, but I do absolutely love these. I mean, gosh, so, so cute. I do have 1 or 2 others. Variegation. Let me see if I can find it. Can I find you? They hide. Always hiding from me. Oh, and there's a little bit there. Oh, and here's the other one. That's quite an old leaf, actually. That's been there for at least a year. She's beautiful. It's like a trademark. So yeah, if you love philodendrons, or if you love hanging plants, this is a great plant to have. It grows very, very quickly. I mean, you'll start with a plant maybe this size, and by the end of the summer, it will be 3 times the length if you're giving it the right sun, amount of sun and whatever. She does get a lot of sun. She gets a lot of light. Gets spoiled rotten. Yep. So that's that guy. And then my next plant will be my Gloriosome. She's right here. I mean, this is in no particular order. It's just what's convenient, which one's easiest to get to. This is her latest leaf. And we have another one on the way. The one before that, let's just go up, was, let's see. So that's that one. So you can kind of see where the leaves, which one was next. So this one was the next one. She did get attacked by thrips, which I think you can, yeah, you can see. You can see the markings, but none of the other leaves seem to have any issues, so that's a good thing. And she is currently in a non-drainage vessel. I bought this from IKEA in the kitchen range. It's the 365 collection, and whoops, and she's in soil. She's in a chunky mix by Grow Tropicals. It's the jungle mix, and at the bottom I have put some lacquer balls. So with this plant, unlike the Philodendron lemon lime where I will just fill up the reservoir, this one I don't do that. I just water the plant as you would normally, and the reservoir just kind of works as a safety net for me. So I'm loving that. When I went on holiday, I did fill the reservoir up, and that was enough water for the whole of the holiday, which was 2 weeks. It kept her going that whole time. Once I see that the soil, I mean, like the great thing with these vessels, especially with the soil, is that you can see there'll be like moisture. You can see the moisture in there. And I'll wait until that dries up completely, and then I give her another watering, and I'm definitely doing that once a week, maybe every 10 days. Well, I mean, in the winter I was doing it once every 10 days, I would say. But yeah, she's getting really big. I mean, this leaf, I mean, I have quite big hands, but that's a beautifully sized leaf, and that she gave me this in the winter, I'm quite surprised at actually how resilient she's been and how easy. So far, so good. Yeah, I thought she would be like quite a finicky plant, but it turns out that most philodendrons are quite easy, or it seems that way. How long have I had this plant? I've had this plant about 6 months, and yeah, she's just been a joy. Really easy. I have another one actually, which is in the box. She's also doing amazingly well. I mean, she lives in a box, so of course she's getting all of the humidity. She's in here with a pastazanum at the moment. So this is kind of like a bit of a new setup for me. I decided to put these lights on the top. I just stuck them down with some sellotape. Or sellotape, it's not sellotape. It's tape. Why can't I get in? Ah, here we go. In. So here she is. Oh, she's quite heavy. I recently had to repot this guy. She grew right to the edge of her pot, so she's now in a slightly bigger one. You can see there's a new growth happening. Why are we not focusing? Here we go. Her latest leaf is this one, in fact. Let's see if I can get some better light for you. Let me put her up there. Yeah, her latest leaf is this one. Look at the edges, the red on the edge. Amazing. Really bright. She's been getting a lot of light, and I might actually move her from that box because I think it's too much light. But yeah, I'm just kind of keeping an eye on her. But yeah, she does look a bit bleached actually. So I might have to move her from there, which is annoying. Or maybe I'll just lower the light, because I can do that with these. These lights I actually bought from Amazon, and you can lower the light, so I think I will do that. But yeah, and then she's got like a little pup in there also pushing out a new leaf. So I've actually got 2 plants in there. But yeah, finding the Gloriosomes fairly easy. I mean, the juvenile plants, of course, are more tricky, more difficult. They need more attention. They need a lot more love and care. I'm going to put her back in the box, hopefully, without bumping her around too much. She's in. Yeah, so very proud of both those Gloriosomes, but especially the larger one. Oh, she's just dreamy. I'm very excited every morning to get up and see what this one has been up to, because it's just been one leaf after the next. Yeah, it's just been quite bizarre. I went on holiday, what was it, the end of Feb? Mid-Feb? Somewhere in February. And came back. I think she had a new leaf then. And then since then, I've got this one and the one that's coming up behind. So she's growing like a beast. I can't imagine what she's going to be like in the summer. I'm very excited to see. I'm a little worried currently because she's right at the edge of her pot. Can you see? She's like bumping up against that pot. I have ordered a new one and I thought it would be here much sooner than it will be. I think it's going to take about 2 weeks before I ordered 4 longer pots, and it's going to take about 2 weeks. So I just hope she can hold on until then. But yeah, those are the Gloriosomes. And the next plant I want to show you, the next plant I want to show you, I'm going to make noise again. Just moving my ugly leaf. I mean, I'm quite proud of this, to be quite honest. I mean, like, look what we're up against. Quite a gross spider mite. Why can't I speak? Attacked by spider mite, but her roots are looking really quite fabulous. Anyway, she's not on the list. One of these days, this plant will be on the list. As soon as I get a leaf, I'll be showing her off. But I don't know if you can see through the box so far, but the next one is going to be the Doriaki. She's an Anthurium Doriaki. Also living in a box, and I've got a sneaky suspicion that this plant is going to be living in a box for quite some time. When I first bought this plant, she was much smaller, but her leaves were quite like, well, this is, I'm not sure if this leaf actually grew here, or I think this leaf actually was unfurling when I bought the plant. So she kind of grew in my care, but not really. I would say this is the slowest growing plant ever, but so rewarding when you get a leaf like that. I mean, and she's really starting to show her true character, like being very round. And that was the leaf before. And you can see that there's another leaf coming right there. So I'm super proud of this baby. I'm so proud that from the size that she was, I might actually put a picture on the side if I can find one. But from what I started with, to get her to this size and to get her to this kind of health through the winter, I feel is like a great success. I mean, I know she's only got 2 leaves really worth looking at. I mean, I mean, they're both those leaves were grown in my care. And so I guess maybe that's the whole story of the anthuriums, that the new leaves that grow in your care are going to be the ones that thrive the best, because obviously it's needs to your environment and also, I guess, my habits maybe. That plant is in a chunky aeroid mix. Actually, you know what? I need to show you the roots. The roots are stunning. Really juicy, beautiful roots. Look at that one, chunky. Sorry, the lighting's shocking. Chunky and furry. So yeah, she's in jungle mix also. And I've put some sphagnum moss on the top. And life is very cool for this one. She is loving life, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what she's going to do in the summer. I don't know if I'm going to take her out of the box, to be honest. I don't know. I'm just, you know, I'm really happy with where we're at the moment. She's a baby, so she, you know, she needs as much loving care as possible. So she's staying in the crib. She'll be in that box for some time. And yeah, she's very, very proud. I mean, I don't want to skip past my Florida Ghost. She wasn't really on the list, but I tend not to really look at this plant that much, so she's not on the list. But this one, I can't stop staring at her. I cannot take my eyes off of her. She's just, she's just looking so, so good. For the longest time, I actually didn't know what this plant was. When I bought it, the pot said crystallinum, what was it, Hope? I think it said crystallinum Hope. And then there were like a couple of other names that were coming up, like is it Silver Hope? I don't know, I'll put those names up. I can't really remember right now. And then I just decided, okay, I'm gonna put something on Instagram and just ask. And actually a couple of guys from Indonesia confirmed for me that no, this was in fact a Doriaki, and I didn't even know what a Doriaki was. So yeah, that was fun. But I'm very happy to have a Doriaki. They're absolutely gorgeous. When they grow bigger, let me just slide that back in. Yeah, when they grow bigger, they're really quite impressive. They don't grow big. They do stay quite compact and small, and they kind of grow in a rosette, kind of like a cluster like that. But I mean, that's probably not actually a little bit like my Monstera right now. She's very much kind of growing in this weird circular thing. I don't know, like they're all the same height, the leaves. I don't know, very unusual. But yeah, that's how she's going to grow. I suppose much like, I don't know why I didn't use this anthurium as an example. Kind of like that, but actually the leaves lay like that. So they don't kind of stand, yeah, they don't stand horizontal. They're kind of more, yeah. Anyway, I am quite proud of this little baby. We went through some winter struggles. We struggled. I also put her through a little test, because I did take her out of soil and put her into Lechuza pond. But as you can see, she's loving it. You can see the roots are looking very chunky. They weren't as long as that. They have grown into the reservoir all the way around. And then I started getting like kind of weird browning. It kind of started, let me see if I can show a leaf. Yeah, it started like that. And then eventually it was kind of like on the other side of the leaf. I don't think there is any damage on that leaf. Gosh, these leaves are so solid. I'm not going to mess with that one. This is a new leaf. So that's why I now know that this plant is finally happy, because that leaf popped out, I would say about a week ago. It was tiny, and every day it has just got bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm so proud, and she's still very soft, so she can still get much bigger. Recently, now that the sun is back, that summer's on the way, she's also been getting some natural daylight, so not just the grow lights above. And yeah, I am so relieved, because I was very worried. I was worried that this was blight. It might still be blight. One of my subscribers actually said that I should allow the pond to dry out once the reservoir has gone. Reservoir water has gone, and I have started doing that, and I've definitely seen a difference. So thank you so much. I'm not sure which subscriber, but I'm sure you know who you are. Please leave a comment down below and put your hand up and collect an award for that, because that really saved my bacon with this plant. And I really do feel it was down to the advice that you gave me. So thank you so much. And then the last one that I want to put on my list, but I mean, really, I haven't owned this plant for very long, so I feel like I'm cheating, but it is my Ripsalis. I'm just so proud that I have a Ripsalis in my collection. And I recently bought this plant. I have not had it very long. I've had it maybe a week, just over a week. And I put this one into, of course, a glass vessel. She's got a reservoir of lecker balls here. Now, with this plant, I just water the soil. I do not leave a reservoir of water. This plant doesn't need a lot of water. And I mean, I don't know a hell of a lot about this plant. I do know that it doesn't need a lot of water, and it'll probably need watering every 3 weeks. She came at quite a length. It was a rescue plant. And when I first bought the plant, I was a little concerned that I did ask the owner of the store whether this plant had any pests, and she said no. I was worried that this might be scowl. But apparently, if you get a Q-tip with surgical spirits and you rub it onto that's, you know, what you think is scowl, it will actually like start coming off, and it's not, it's quite solid. So I also did some more research, and I found that if you overwater a Ripsalis, then these things produce these kind of like calluses. It's like apparently the water tries to escape through, you know, the vessels of the plant. Is the vessel, I don't know if vessels is the right word, but it tries to escape through the leaf. I don't know if this is a leaf or a stem. And then you're left with these kind of drying callus where it's kind of calloused over. So I do believe that that's what it is, and it has been treated for pests. And yeah, it's been in this spot now for, like I said, about a week, maybe a little more than a week. And I haven't noticed any distress. If anything, I've seen a little bit of, I mean, you can see that fresh green bit. It's getting, I don't know, I feel that it's grown. It's quite bizarre. But yeah, I think it's going to be happy there. I think it will. Yay! And yeah, so that's it. That's all of the plants. Actually, you know, that isn't everyone. I forgot my Hoya. I'm always talking about this plant, or I mean, I feel like I'm always talking about this plant, but I mean, this plant has made the list. How can she not? I love this plant and the journey that we've been through. So sorry, let me introduce this plant properly. This is the Hoya Hoya Lisa. It's the variegated one. And I got this as a cutting from a plant swap. I had to start with no roots, and she arrived completely dehydrated in a bit of tinfoil, which basically didn't help. It was during a heat wave, and oh gosh, we've come through a lot together. But let me just take her out of there so you can actually see the full length of her. So I started with I think 4 leaves, and look what I got now. Oh, it's suddenly got a bit dark outside. But yeah, she's doing really well. She's extremely happy. It's quite strange how this stem has decided to be all green. I don't know why that is, but I quite like it. I do. I think it's, you know, it's just different, isn't it? Let me just try and slide her back in again. So yeah, she's living in Lechuza Pond, and you can see her roots are growing like crazy. And yeah, that's the last one. I mean, I could just keep picking, but this one most definitely, I can't take my eyes off this plant. So yeah, that is my top favorite plants this month, the ones that have been bringing me so much joy, the ones that I want to get up and see first thing in the morning, the ones that some of them I've been dreaming about. You know, like, I don't know if you guys do this, but do you dream about plants? I mean, oh God, I hope that's not weird. But yeah, the ones I've been dreaming about, sometimes I do. Yeah, so I do hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know if you also share the same favourites this month. I'd love to know if you have any tips and tricks also, because these plants can always thrive more. And yeah, all advice is welcome here. And also, I'm not the only person who reads these comments. Thank you so much for hanging out, and if you did enjoy, please do give me a thumbs up, and if it's your first time here, hit that subscribe button. Definitely switch on that notification bell, because I will be doing some kind of random videos here and there even. Have a fabulous week, and I hope to see you here again next Sunday, and maybe before then, who knows. All right, bye.